Sameach v'samachta v'chagecha Reho Yitzchok Sameach
Shabbaton, like a group of college students to come to 770, spend the weekend, and they had speakers for them. There's someone not far from here. London, that's London. Anyway, he spoke. He said that if you give someone a complicated machine, and you see buttons and switches and pedals and dials. We used to seeing, a switch, you turn it on, turn it up, like it was on. Dials, you turn it to, it can raise the heat. Pedals make the car go, another pedal makes it stop. So, naturally we start turning all the buttons and turning them. But if it's a real sensitive machine and a complicated machine, really to get it working properly and finding out what it's for, your chances are probably put numbers on it. Impossible. But if it comes with instruction and you're told exactly what to do, you follow the instructions. Hold the button for 3 seconds, watch for a red light to go on, then push the pedal halfway down, you'll get the machine working. You follow it to the T. There's no more complicated machine in this world than a human being. And for us to try to guess how to make it work and to make it work properly and what it's for, it's impossible. So the Eibishter gave us instruction. They told the Yidden exactly how to work it and what makes a mensch. And he gave us tzaddikim. That's the way David should set up the Torah. Throughout all the generations, there's tzaddikim that show us how to work it. And again, on your own, if you have someone that's guiding you and showing you how powerful it could be, on your own, you could never figure it out, never guess. But if you follow the Torah's direction and the tzaddikim, and there has to be that important ingredient of bittul, meaning that we realize we're dealing with something that's very great. It's also if you think that. Imagine you going to a third world country. It's in the middle of Africa. We're going on a tour. And suddenly there's a pain in your leg, and we're going to those doctors, that's what I call them. And he says, you have to amputate. No one is right in mind. He's going to say, go ahead. No, I want to go back to my professional, and they're also look for another opinion. If you break down somewhere in some town, some village, right, and you bring it into your car to a mechanic and he tells you need a new motor for $2,000. They said, no, a part of the motor for $2,000. The mechanic said, I don't know. I'll take the money. But $2,000 is very cheap. 20,000. No one's going to say, go ahead. No. I want to go to professional. When it comes to so you call it my own life. It comes to life. Even your own life. But life is not a cheap. You're speaking about a limb. You're very careful. Speaking about a monetary loss. You're very careful. It comes to a whole lifetime. The purpose of a neshama coming down to this world is to live like a mensch that you have to be to figure out on your own, because this is what I feel and this is what I think, and this is, our thinking is influenced by our surroundings and our feelings are influenced by surroundings, and we have to realize that to really know what the Eibishter wants of us, what the Creator wants of us, to really be a mensch, there has to be a certain bittul, a certain dedication to what Torah says and to what the tzaddikim show us. And look up to that and try to strive to make our lives constantly better. Always striving to add some more. Not just to be satisfied and convince yourself, I'm happy. Because to waste a lifetime, use the word surprise. If we really want to experience true happiness, there has to be that dedication to tzaddikim and what tzaddikim teach us, and to live a meaningful life. Another professor, Green, Dr. Green. He was in Minnesota. He also spoke by Begisha. Where is it? When they started flying to the moon, out in space, the 60s, late 60s, they called together scientists from all over the world because they saw that in some galaxy, which is like 4 light years away, there seems to be a planet that there could be that there are living, I don't know if human beings or intellectual beings. Anyway, but to get there will take you about 800 years, 750 to 800 years. So to fly out there, this can take generations. So they wanted all these different scientists to figure out what problems can come up and how to plan such a trip. They were sitting there, how to supply enough food, how to make their own food, how to supply energy, how to supply security, how to supply clothing, and etc., etc. All these, and what could go wrong. But there has to be a captain with a crew that know what their mission is and know how to run that ship and know where they're aiming and what they have to do in order to get there. And they came up with problems. Could be that some people will just be focused on what they have to do. They forget that they're on a trip. Okay, they won't interfere. They think that the whole mission, the whole purpose over here is to make sure that there's just good farming and good supply of food for everyone. And expects all the money to come to him, and everything that he needs should be taken care of so that he can run the food supply. Other with the security, and others with the housing, etc., etc. So many things. But in the crew itself, after a while, one generation, another generation, first one still know where they're heading to, there are others that start thinking differently. Maybe wasting our time going in this direction. Maybe we should go a different direction. Maybe we should look somewhere else, or deny the whole trip. And there's always people who like to get attention. They like to have their covered, their honor. So they got him thinking. Professor Green. He looked around the world, he said, where do I see this in the world? He said, only by observant Jews. The whole world is occupied with getting food, security, clothing, entertainment, they're all busy with other things. Who is on a trip heading towards the destination with a goal, with a focus? A captain and a crew. Tzaddikim leading Yidden in the direction David wants us to go. The only ones that are focused, constantly moving on and on in that direction. And therefore it changes his life. He became an observant Yid based on that trip. And we have to realize that we're on that trip. We're holding L'chaim. I'll continue. Ato v'charatanu mikol ha'amim,
Beis Hashoevah Farbrengen.